On the news tonight, President Muhammadu Buhari is expected to meet with the ruling All Progressives Congress presidential aspirant tomorrow. The All Progressives Congress frontline presidential aspirant, Asiwaju Ahmed Tinubu, says he did not mean what the media is projecting against President Muhammadu Buhari. While on the foreign scene, EU blacklists Russian military commanders on crimes relating to humanity. Good evening and welcome to the Major Report. I am Olubomi Ajiboye Agbola. President Muhammadu Buhari is expected to meet the ruling All Progressives Congress presidential aspirants tomorrow after attending the Economic Community of West African States meeting in Ghana. According to reports, West African leaders held a meeting in Ghana's capital, Accra, to decide whether to ease or ramp up sanctions against junta-ruled Mali, Burkina Faso, and Guinea. The Economic Community of West African States is expected to decide whether to keep, lighten, or lift retaliatory measures on Mali imposed in January after its military regime announced an intention to rule for another 5 years. According to reports, Ghana's President Nana Akufo-Addo opened the summit attended by the heads of state of most of the 15 member countries, but without any representative from Mali, Burkina Faso, or Guinea visible in the audience. The summit will re-examine and assess the situations in Mali, Guinea, and Burkina Faso in light of recent developments within the region and global context, while the objective is to find ways to help the West African countries return to constitutional order. It was gathered that Guinea, Burkina Faso, and Mali are currently suspended from ECOWAS borders following coup that resulted to ruling juntas in the countries. The All Progressives Congress frontline presidential aspirant, Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, has said, contrary to the insinuations in some quarters, it did not denigrate President Muhammadu Buhari during a political meeting in Abeokuta, Ogun State. Asiwaju Tinubu, in a statement he personally signed, said that in pursuing his aspiration to be president of Nigeria, there are certain things he will not do to disrespect the president. His statement was a follow-up to a rebuttal issued earlier in the day by the Bola Ahmed Tinubu campaign organization and a clarification by former Borno State Governor Senator Kashim Shettima. Asiwaju Tinubu said President Buhari is an experienced and accomplished leader, a patriot, a man of integrity, and the qualities won him tremendous mass support, leading to electoral victory in 2015 and 2019. Meanwhile, Nigerian political parties have failed in their civic responsibility of giving pragmatic political education to the electorate, which is a veritable tool for voters to weigh the formidability of the candidates and sieve the unproductive contestants. A political scientist, Mr. Lekan Ogunyemi, made the assertion shortly after featuring on OSBC TV Current Affairs program Saturday Morning Trade. He speaks further.
Education, right from the grassroots. Because it is one thing, somebody mentioned that he spent a lot of money before he became a delegate. So, and the primary thinking is that I've invested my money in this, then I should go there to collect money. So when you now leave the political merchants to take over the landscape, then it's going to make nonsense of our democratic process. The way out is that we need political education. We people at the grassroots we should note that once you have invested, these people have invested in you by giving you money, definitely you should not expect anything at the end of the day. So the way out is that radio stations, television stations, clerics, Muslim, Islamic, and everybody, we should educate our people. And political parties, they have abandoned that particular function, and that is political education. In those days, the Awolowos and the rest, they will tell you the essence of education, egalitarian society, this and that. They will educate you about their manifesto. But this time around, instead of educating people with them by going by them, they are now giving money and as a result of that, we should seek knowledge first, not money.
The Independent National Electoral Commission has released the regulations and guidelines for the conduct of the 2023 general elections. The chairman of INEC, Professor Mahmoud Yakubu, at a meeting of Interagency Consultative Committee on Election Security in Abuja, said the Constitution Electoral Act 2022 and the Commission's regulations and guidelines would now constitute the legal framework for the 2023 poll. During the meeting, the National Security Advisor Babangana Munguno, represented by Sanusi Galadima, vowed to crush perpetrators of violence and forestall any act that would undermine the 2023 poll. According to him, the coming into force of the Electoral Act 2022 had made it necessary to review the Commission's regulations and guidelines that govern the conduct of elections. He said that the training manual would also be presented to Nigerians in the next couple of weeks, while INEC would focus on election administration, such as logistics, training, voter education, technology sensitization against vote buying, inclusivity measures, and security, among others. Osun State Governor Mr. Adegboyega Oyetola has received another encomium for deeming it fit to present a bond certificate of 8.3 million naira to a retired physically challenged school teacher, Mr. Aniobi John, alongside other retired teachers in the state. Mr. Aniobi John described the gesture as the best thing that has ever happened to him, saying Governor Adegboyega Oyetola of the state has rekindled his dashed hope. He was among 162 retirees that benefited from the 1.156 billion naira bond certificates presented to a fresh set of pensioners by the state government. Other benefiting retirees were primary school teachers, local government staff, and those in the core civil service, parastatals, and state-owned tertiary institutions. Fielding questions from journalists shortly after he received his bond certificate, Mr. John Anonobi described the gesture as a great relief to him and his family in view of what they had passed through since he retired from active service. Governor Adegboyega Oyetola has given all health officers in the state of a marching order not only to sensitize the public about the menace of the new pandemic monkeypox, but also equip for free treatment of the victims if at all no case has been recorded in Osun State. The Special Advisor on Public Health, Dr. Shijo Olamide, dropped the hint while speaking to OSBC News. Dr. Olamide added that people should not hesitate to report any sort of pandemic in their area, as all hands are now on deck to ensure healthy living of the people of the state. He speaks further.
Characteristic of Mr. Governor Boyega Oyetola is a man of proactiveness. He's a foresightful leader. He has charged us that at the Ministry of Health, most especially the public health arm of the state, that all mayors should be on ground to contain and curtail it, if at all we have it. We are working not to have it, but it is not our discretion to determine whether we will have it or not, because our state is not in isolation. We interact with other states, Lagos, Ogun, where we have discovered these cases, and our people go to Lagos for economic reason. They go to Edo and return. But what matters is the awareness, which the state government has mandated us to do. Awareness of the cause, how can we get it? If we have it, how do we go about, getting treated?
3 eminent sons of Osun State, including the pioneer head of service of the state, Chief Inaolaji Aboaba, a business mogul, Chief Tunde Ponle, and Dr. Aina, said the contributions of one of the founding fathers of the state, late Dr. Benjamin Abimbola Adigun, remains pivotal in the archives of the state. The trio made the submission in Olupono during the final rites of late Dr. Benjamin Abimbola Adigun. Oluwatosin Oladogun completes the story.
Recall that when Osun State clocked 30 years of its creation, governor of the state, Mr. Adegboyega Oyetola honored late Benjamin Abimbola Adigun with an award of excellence toward the state's creation. However, a few weeks ago, one of the founding fathers of the state, Dr. Benjamin Abimbola Adigun, passed away at the age of 87 years. The contribution of one of the former sons of the state perhaps informed the presence of people from all walks of life who relocated to Ulupana country homes of the late father to pay their farewell to one of the founding fathers of the state. Encomiums and tributes like never before took the center stage while captains of industries, educationalists, and business mogul while exchanging views with OSBC School. Among the eminent Osun indigenes who took their time to identify with the funeral rites were the pioneer head of service, Chief Inaolaji Aboaba, a business mogul, Chief Tunde Ponle, and an educationalist, Professor Oluaina. According to the trial, who said Dr. Benjamin Abimbola Adigun started and led the movement of the creation of the state dates back. Chief Inaolaji Aboaba explained that late Dr. Benjamin Abimbola Adigun introduced Osun Development Group, a platform where actualization of the state was made possible.
The thing I was delighted about the most was that he was living when they gave him the honor they gave us on the 30th anniversary of the creation of Osun State, that he came there live and was able to receive it, and it wasn't a posthumous award. Dr. Adigun deserved everything.
Then Professor Oluaina narrated a life full of service to humanity and Osun State in general, lived by Dr. Benjamin Abimbola Adigun, a service which he said led to the creation of the state.
The world has lost a citizen in Dr. Adigun. He's a detribalized man, very honest, very open, very accommodating, and very loving old man. We miss him very sorely.
In his contribution, Chief Ponle is of the view that Dr. Benjamin Abimbola Adigun was a brilliant man to the fault and an embodiment of impeccable character.
To me and my colleagues, it's very sad, but we are happy that he died well.
While exchanging views with OSBC News, one of the children of the deceased, Mr. Kolawole Adigun, explained that his late father had tenacity and an endless commitment toward the growth and expansion of not only Osun, but any individual who came across him.
In one word, I can call him a child of God. He was a hard-working man, a man of God, a man of peace.
Highlights of the occasion were Thanksgiving service held at St. Peter Anglican Church, Ulupana, just as the entertainment of guests followed thereafter. Oluwatosin Oladogun, OSBC News.
The Minister of Health, Dr. Sagi Ehanire, has said that the federal government would facilitate the wide-scale adoption of traditional and alternative medicine in orthodox medical practice. He said this at the maiden conference of the Traditional Complementary and Alternative Medicine in collaboration with the Office of the First Lady held at the International Conference Center, Abuja. Dr. Ehanire explained that traditional medicine is all that Africans had before the emergence of modern medicine, and the same applies to all cultures and civilization, and the continued interest and research into traditional medicine is the right way to go for further development of these ancient herbs in Nigeria. He further said that it is time for Nigerians to use the knowledge and skills their ancestors passed down through the generations for greater value addition in line with the aspiration of federal government to explore all avenues for proper health care, and the Federal Ministry of Health will remain committed to supporting initiatives that promote TCAM in Nigeria. The House of Representatives Ad hoc Committee on the State of Refineries in Nigeria has greeted top officials of the Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited in continuation of the investigation of the collapse of the refineries. During the grilling, the Group Managing Director, NNPC Mele Kayari, told the committee that the rehabilitation, which contract was awarded on May 6, 2021, had attained 30% completion level, and the ongoing rehabilitation of the Port Harcourt refinery would be completed by March 2023. After going through the documents submitted by NNPC to the committee, the lawmakers observed similar contracts for the 3 refineries were awarded to another company in 2019. The lawmakers expressed their displeasure with the response from Sapien Engineering Company, which got the contracts for the comprehensive technical survey of the Port Harcourt refinery at $135 million and an additional sum of £2.3 million for the inspection of both Warri and Kaduna refineries. The Nigerian Petroleum Upstream Petroleum Regulatory Commission has confirmed a fire incident triggered by a suspected associated gas reservoir within the vicinity of a private university in Enugu State. The Commission Chief Executive, Mr. Gbenga Komolafe, in a statement confirmed the incident, and it was caused by the activities of some contractors who were drilling a water borehole on the university premises. It was learned that the university engaged the services of Hydrogeo Engineering Services for the drilling of water borehole, but the job was later subcontracted to Orange Water Wells Drilling Company. Meanwhile, the University Authority has condoned all the sites and restricted access to the area and directed for the immediate discontinued usage of all facilities within the affected area. You are welcome to our sports segment. Let's now join Omotayo at the bottom of our sports desk for updates from the world of sports.
Said moving into the 14th French Open final because opponent Alexander Zverev was injured and taken off court in a wheelchair was not the way he wanted to win. Nadal, seeded 5th, was leading 7-6, 6-6 when Germany's Zverev retired after turning on his ankle. Third seed Zverev screamed in pain when he went down on the baseline after turning his right ankle on the final point of the 12th game of the second set. A concerned Nadal went round to check his opponent as medics raced onto the court to help the 25-year-old German. The seriousness of the situation was immediately cleared, with Zverev screaming and signaling for help as he lays on the court. Nadal chasing a record extending 22nd Grand Slam title and will play against Casper Ruud in tomorrow's final. In the meantime, former Manchester United, Manchester City, West Ham United, and Argentina striker Carlos Tevez has announced his retirement from football. Tevez, who is 38, has not played since ending his third stint with boyhood club Boca Juniors in June 2021. He said he had given everything in his 20 years career, but his father's death last year drove his decision to retire despite offer to continue. Tevez also played for Juventus as well as Brazilian side Corinthians, and in between two spells with Boca, Chinese side Shenzhen Shenhua. In 2004, he won Olympic gold with Argentina in Etienne, going on to make 75 appearances for his country by 2015. He played a pivotal role in the Amas Premier League survivor in 2007 after a controversial move which later saw the club fined for breaching ownership rules. That summer, he moved to Old Trafford, where he won 2 Premier League titles and the Champions League before crossing Manchester to join City in 2009. At Etihad Stadium, he won another league crown in 2012 despite missing 3 months of that season after a high-profile fallout with manager Roberto Mancini after refusing to come on as a substitute in a Champions League game at Bayern Munich. Overall, during a 7-year stay in England, he scored 84 goals in 202 Premier League games. Or Montayo Adebodun, OSBC News.
Oluwatomi Soyeyemi now reports news events across the world.
Marking the arrival of the first batch of pilgrims from outside Saudi Arabia after 2 years due to the coronavirus pandemic, a group of Hajj pilgrims from Indonesia have landed in the city of Medina, from where they will be traveling to the holy city of Mecca. Saudi Arabia last month announced it will allow 1 million people from both inside and outside the kingdom to perform the Hajj, which will take place in July, compared with about 60,000 last year and less than 1,000 in 2020. Mohammed Al-Bijawi of the country's Hajj ministry said the flights will continue from Malaysia and India. He added that they are happy to receive the guests of God from outside the kingdom after a 2-year interruption due to the pandemic, describing Saudi Arabia as fully prepared to accommodate them. Meanwhile, the Marriott hotel chain has announced it is leaving Russia after 25 years, saying Western restrictions have made it impossible to keep operating there. The company closed its Moscow office and paused investment in Russia following the invasion of Ukraine. The company added that it remains focused on taking care of its Russian-based associates and had been supporting individuals in Ukraine and Russia to secure employment with Marriott outside countries affected by the conflict. Marriott joins McDonald's, Starbucks, and other companies in heading for the exits in recent weeks as the war in Ukraine continues and Western sanctions aimed at isolating Russia economically tighten. Elsewhere, the European Union has named and blacklisted 2 Russian military commanders who led troops involved in atrocities in Ukraine as the butchers of the town of Bucha and Mariupol city. The latest EU blacklist, released recently, targets an additional 65 people for sanctions over Russia's invasion of Ukraine. Among the individuals named on the list are Aryazabek Omorbekov, Russian general, Mikhail Mizintsev, and former Olympic medalist in gymnastics and then member of parliament Alina Kabeva. The EU blacklist now includes more than 1,000 names in total. Oluwatomi Oyeyemi for OSBC News.
And that ends the major report on OSBC TV. I am Olubumi Ajiboye Agbola. Good night.